Welcome back to the channel, folks. So, this isn't going to be a gameplay video like normal. This is going to be a sort of vlog type thing. I'm not actually doing face to camera because I have to set my phone up to do it, and it's too much effort for not much payoff. So, I'm going to forego that. I'm going to stick some B-roll footage over the top of this. Probably something you haven't seen before yet. We'll see. Anyway, I need to talk about some stuff that's going on with the channel. Where to start? I'm kind of winging it with this one, so this might be a bit of a rant. So I suppose I should start at the beginning. I have had about 70 odd videos that have been limited to either very little advertising or no advertising. It was about 74 videos out of God knows how many. I have no idea at this point. But it suggests to me that any future I could have with YouTube is nowhere near as certain as I once might have thought. What that means is, in more direct terms, that I'm not going to make much money from this. Now, I didn't go into it expecting to, because if you go into Let's Plays with the expectation that you'll get big and famous, you'll make cash and all that, that you're going to be in for a hard time. And I didn't. I didn't go in with those expectations. It was a hobby thing. Now, 2 years later, after starting, the way I feel about the channel right now is I'm in too deep to stop. That's the way I feel. I couldn't stop even if I wanted to, and I don't want to. I enjoy this. If somebody asked me what it is you want to spend your time doing, I would point to the Let's Plays. They give me a sense of fulfillment that I haven't found in any other thing. Maybe it's with the acting stuff I used to do back in the day. Don't look it up, it was all terrible. But I'm actually fulfilled by it. I want to do it on a daily basis. And there are people that watch. I have 74 subs as of this recording, but there's like 4 or 6 regular viewers that I keep seeing pop up from video to video. And it's those guys I do this for. You're the reason I'm still here. You're the reason I'm still doing this, and I'm not going to stop as long as you don't want me to. I want to keep going on this forever. Which leads me to the whole making money off it thing. Now, if you want to spend all of your time devoting yourself to something, there has to be some kind of payoff from it. Luckily, I'm off sick for mental health issues, which means I have the room to spend time on this, but that's not going to be a thing forever. Like, I have to get better eventually, you know? And I'd rather it would be sooner as opposed to later. So, that's the way things are going right now. So, at some point, I will have to make money from it, really, if it's going to be a viable future for me. As much as I don't want to have to rely on that, if I want to keep doing it, eventually it will have to be, in order to justify the time. So what does that mean exactly, when you put it together with the fact that a lot of the videos I've got now are going to have less ads on them? Well, it means, sadly, I'm going to have to lean heavily into Patreon and PayPal and Ko-Fi. I think it's Ko-Fi, although you use it to buy coffees, so it should probably be coffee? But it looks like Ko-Fi. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I have to lean into those things more heavily. Which leads me into things I'm not really prepared for. Like, if anyone's seen the Patreon page, I haven't offered anything yet for donators. Because, what the fuck would I offer? I don't fucking have anything. All I have is the videos. I mean, I could make... In theory, I could make more videos and make them sub-specials, but it's against the terms and conditions of YouTube, and it would require more work anyway. And I'm already at the limit of the work that I can do right now. Filling 5 days a week, albeit Tuesday and Thursday is the same series. But there's a lot of work that goes into it, and I think I'm at the limit of what I can do. I'm pushing myself to do more stuff with editing, trying new things, and that's adding a lot of time to edits. Hopefully, that anyone that's been watching the No Man's Sky series will see that paying off. I'm doing more things with that. Less so with Dishonored. That's a bit more straightforward to edit. Siege 4, which is now finished, I was doing a lot more of that. In fact, a lot of the techniques that I've been using, you might very well have seen develop over the course of Saints Row 2 to 3 to 4. You've probably seen that like gradually improve over time. I know I have. I look back on earlier videos now that I used to love, and it's kind of cringy, but overall alright. But anyway, So what does this mean
He's
for
watching from
you,
above.
the viewer?
Pervert.
Probably not much. I'm going to lay out exactly what I need for this to be worthwhile financially. I mean, I would need more people to come in. Now, part of that is on me, definitely. My content. Now, what anyone that's watched the channel will know that I do like plot-heavy series, episode 1 and 2 and 3, and it goes on in a big story. And while that's good, and it's a good ride and a good binge, it's harder for people to drop in on. A good thing that people can drop in on, in fact, I'm going to refer you to Hat Films. Any of their GTA videos, standalone, works on its own, don't have to watch anything before or after, it's fairly like all-inclusive. And that's the kind of stuff I need to make in order to bring people in, because people might drop in at like episode 20 of something and go, I don't want to watch all of that. I've done bits of that with some first look videos, but I've let them fall by the wayside because it's too much extra work right now. Hopefully not forever, but for the moment it is. God, I've been given keys for games that I have not touched, and I feel so guilty about that. I'm sorry to all of the devs that gave me keys and I didn't do them. I'm really sorry. It was just too much, like the mental health stuff and work and all that. So I'm really, really sorry about that. But I am going to have to do more of that kind of thing. After I'm done with No Man's Sky, there's going to be something else in there. I was going to do another epic series. I was going to do the Legacy of Kain series, starting with Blood Omen, and then Soul Reaver 2, Soul Reaver Defiance, and then Blood Omen 2. But that would be more of the same thing, long story stuff that people can't drop in on, and I need people to drop in. It's not a problem for you guys, it is a problem for me, but it doesn't change the fact that I need it to happen. I need to start drawing people in. Somebody, thankfully, has agreed to do me a TV tropes entry, which is going to help immensely. It's kind of tacky to do your own, so thankfully somebody's agreed to do that. I'm looking into merchandise, t-shirts and stuff like that. But the thing is, I have no artistic talent whatsoever. I can't draw for shit. It would all be stickmen, and bad stickmen at that. So I wouldn't really be able to offer you much by way of that, but somebody's going to look into that for me, and maybe we'll have some merch that we can sell. In the meantime, there are other things we can do. If you don't want to watch all my stuff on YouTube, and I could kind of see why. I mean, from the perspective of a creator, it looks like things are beginning to go downhill. Now, they still have the prestige of them being YouTube, the Prime Video thing, but there's other stuff coming up, so I'm not sure how long that's going to last. YouTube have done a lot to piss off the content creators, and that's eventually going to bite them in the ass to a point where their stature isn't going to be enough to cover it. I'm just not sure when that's going to be. But I have been mirroring stuff on VidMe, which is a similar website to YouTube. It's modelled around creators for creators and people that view. Less emphasis on ads, even though they do have it as an option, but they have like buttons that you can donate or subscribe built into the thing without you having to go off to Patreon or something like that. It's early days with that. I'm still mirroring content across because it's a new platform. That some of their services are a bit janky. But they're getting there. I'm definitely optimistic about their future, and I'm in on the ground floor, which is good. I like that I've got in on the ground floor on this one, and I think it's a worthwhile experiment, even if ultimately it turns out that YouTube is still the place to be. I'm glad I'm trying this out. So yeah, check out the channel there, but it is going to be a lot further behind. I'm afraid. There's nothing much I can do about that unless I decide to post like 30 videos in one day, which is generally not a good idea. I need to find a better way to catch up, but it's the situation I'm in and there's very little I can do about it. So all the VidMe viewers, I'm very, very sorry. If the more up-to-date stuff is on YouTube, if you don't want to go to YouTube, I can get why you'd take that decision. Then all I can do is apologise and hope that you'll wait for the other content. So, I've been kind of going at this in a rant, so there's been no fixed order about what I want to talk about, but I think I've got everything out of the way. What do you need to do as a viewer to help? Well, if you have a spare quid, then feel free to donate using the what, Drew? calm down. The donatey links in the description of the videos, Patreon, Coffee, / Ko-Fi, PayPal, all that stuff. One-off tips. Patreon, you can subscribe, you can do as little as like $1. I think it'll turn out as like 50 pence, maybe 30, 40 pence, but you know, if everybody does it, then that's a lot. And if all you can give is £1, that's good by me. I'm gonna have no hard feelings. That'll still get me something that I may not have otherwise had, you know, even if that just goes towards buying milk or something. You can also like, subscribe, if you haven't already. You can plug the shit out of the channel to people. Show them the trailer. If you need what's called a gateway video, that's a video that you could drop in on, get a feel for the channel and see if you want to stick around, because it acts like a gateway. There's a decent Fallout 4 one that stands on its own, I reckon. It's called Hancock's Gone Feral.
He's watching from above.
Other than that, I'm not sure. I'm afraid you'd have to pick them for yourself. If you have any suggestions for what would stand out as a good gateway video, then please let me know in the comments below, or grab me on my Twitter. In fact, the best way to follow what's going on is to follow me on Twitter, because I don't like doing these vlogs type things. I feel they detract from the channel too much. So I tend not to do them often. So I'll usually, if I'm like ranting about stuff or explaining something or just letting you know what's going on, I'll more than likely do it on the Twitter, because it's easier doing that and getting it out of the way than recording a thing, then editing a thing, then uploading a thing, when I really could be recording gameplay footage or something. So yeah, that should be about it. Follow me on Twitter if you want to keep entirely up to date with what's going on. It is the wee @ symbol and then Uchiha Drew YT. I think that's it. So yeah, that's it. Hit me up on Twitter if you want to suggest things for the series, then you can. I might not necessarily do it, although I am more likely to do it if you actually buy me the game. That's happened a lot. City Skylines, I did that because it was bought for me. Dishonored 2, I've done that because it was bought for me. Stardew Valley, I did that because it was bought for me, you know. So if you buy me a game, there's a hell of a lot more chance that I'll actually play it. I shouldn't have said that, because people will buy me yaoi harem games probably. What was I saying? I've completely lost my train of thought. Something about buying me games, hitting up the channel, liking, subscribing. Yeah, oh yeah, suggesting games, yeah. It is a weird thing, like when you first start out, a lot of Let's Plays creators ask their peers in, I suppose I should say, the industry, what should I play? And there's a lot of, play what you love, otherwise it's not worth it. But as you go on, you begin to see that that's a little too idealistic. Because, quite frankly, I have been playing the things I like, and that's long, story-driven stuff, and it just isn't getting people in. And I have to accept the fact that if I want to keep doing this, eventually I'm going to have to deal with the fact that I'm not bringing in enough people in to make it worth it. Man, it's a hard thing to do. You got to decide between doing what you love, or maybe selling out somewhat and doing things you may not want to play. Oh man, God, it's such a headache, such a fucking headache. But yeah, we have definitely gone off the rails on whatever point I might have been in the direction of making. Whatever it is, it's gone. So the TLDR, or TLDL, too long didn't listen, I suppose, is I'm still in the game, as far as I'm concerned. As far as I'm concerned, I'm in too deep to quit. I'm doing this for the people that continually follow me, even though there's only like 4 to 6 regulars. I don't care, I'm doing this for you guys. You're what keeps me doing this. But I do sadly need more. I wish that wasn't the case. I'm quite happy with, like, well, yeah, I'm quite happy as long as like if there's one person that really loves the content, that's enough for me to know that at least somebody digs it. And those 4 to 6, it makes my heart swell, but my heart swelling doesn't pay bills, sadly. And eventually I'm going to have to deal with the fact that when I come off sick, if I don't find adequate work and I want to continue this, then it'll have to be worth it. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. This whole thing might crash and burn, or I might find the right way and this whole thing takes off. But I might need your help to do that. I want to try and do more standalone stuff. I've been plugging it to other Let's Players in my wee /clique group thing. And it is like herding cats. A lot of people like it in principle, but there's lots of time zones involved and schedules and shit, so I don't know how realistic that is, sadly. God, I'm so jealous of the Yogs cast, all being in the same office. Hey, do you want to do this thing? Yeah, alright, let's just fucking do it. You bastards, I'm so jealous. But yeah, collaboration stuff isn't that easy. I'd like to do more of it, hopefully I will, but we'll see. Right now, just plug it. Plug it if you can. And thank you for supporting it. Thank you. You've made this worth it. It's the reason I get out of bed in the morning and keep recording. But, you know, being fulfilled sadly isn't enough. I have to live as well. And eventually it'll get to the point where I'm not going to have the sick pay to cover me. And when that happens, I'll have to get a job. And that'll come a choice. I can either reduce the content and work the full-time job, or work a job with less hours to keep up the content I'm doing. That's the choice I'll have to make, and how I go on that choice will be dependent on how feasible the channel is, as it is standing on its own merits. We'll see, but you can help by spreading the word, getting more people in, and suggesting things that you think may work good. I'm going to come back to GTA Online. I'm going to do another big D out, but that's going to be a feature length featuring other people, hopefully. So look forward to that, but that's probably months away. As for the other series, I'm going to continue on with Saints Row 4, where, well, it's, as of this filming, it's finished. The finale's been done. Now we're moving on to Get Out of Hell, we'll do that. So we'll finish Get Out of Hell, and after that there'll be a new series. No Man's Sky, I hope, for the love of God, is finishing soon. Because I can't keep doing that forever. But once that finishes, hopefully we'll find more standalone stuff to whack in. But yeah, ideas are running a little bit dry, so if you have any suggestions, lay them out for me, please. But yeah, I think I've ranted long enough. The timer's going at like just about 19 minutes, so I'll leave you guys to it. Thank you very much for coping with my rant and joining me, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye now.